Hey guys, I'm back with a new video. In this video, let us talk about semantic elements in HTML5. Now, HTML5 introduced a few more container elements that are more descriptive and meaningful. We refer to these as semantic elements. Now, wherever possible, we should use these semantic elements because they better help the search engines to understand web pages and what they contain. So head over to your HTML folder and create a new file and name it as semantic elements.html. So right here, let us quickly scaffold our HTML boilerplate. So type exclamation and press tab, and let us give the title as semantic elements in HTML. So let us go over a couple of semantic elements in this video. So first, let us discuss about the header element. So the header element serves as a container for all introductory content. To see this in action, let us define one. So right inside the header, let us add an h1. This is some introductory content. Next to this h1, let us add a paragraph, lorem 50. Now let us see the next semantic element in action, and that is the article element, which is quite often used for content that is written in form of articles. Now the article element mostly represents independent, self-contained content, which could be a forum post or reviews. So let us see an example for the article element. So article, and inside it, let us first add an h2 element. And here we can specify the title for the article. For example, let us say this is my first article. Next to it, let us add a p element, and inside it, let us add some lorem ipsum, so lorem 50. So let us give this a preview in the browser to see how it looks. Now, as a side note, an article can contain one or more figures, lists, images, and so on. So here you can see our header, where we have the h1 tag, and this is our paragraph, and this is our article, right? Now let us discuss a few more semantic elements. Let us say we want to highlight a piece of text using some shade. So for this, one way would be to surround some piece of text, say like this, around a span tag and then style it, right? But with semantic HTML, we have one more element that can do this job of highlighting the piece of text. So we can make use of the mark element to achieve this. So let us head over to Visual Studio Code. And right below the article, let us add a paragraph, lorem 50, and let us mark this much text, say, using the mark element. So mark, and let me mark and put it like this. And let us give this a preview in the browser. So by default, you can see it gives us a yellow shade. So it highlights the piece of text with a yellow color, right? So whenever you want to highlight or mark the content, you can make use of the mark element. Now let us move forward to understand the semantic elements that we use for structuring our web pages. So pretty much every web page that we build nowadays has three building blocks, namely the header that we saw just a while back, the main content, and the footer. Sometimes we can also have a sidebar that holds the content that is not related to the main content, but it just sits aside of the main content. Okay, so head over to the HTML folder and create a new HTML file and name it as semantic-html.html. So right here, let us quickly scaffold our basic HTML boilerplate and give the title as semantic HTML. So let me quickly write down the basic building blocks that an HTML5 web page can have. So first is the header element. Then we need a main element as well. So we can use emit here. So plus main. And then next to main, we need the footer. So plus footer and press tab. So these are the three basic building blocks of an HTML5 web page. So first is the header, which I had discussed a while back, is used to hold the introductory content of the page. But most of the times, you would also see the header holding the navigation bar that you see at the top of the pages. So inside the header, we can have a nav with a list of menu items. Now to represent the list of the items, we can make use of an unordered list with a bunch of list items right inside the nav element. So ul, and let us add 3 li, so li asterisk 3 and press tab. Let me add some content right inside this, some text, and some text. Now let us move forward to our second semantic element, which is the main element. Now we can have multiple sections right inside our main element. So here we can add another element called as section. So section 1 for say the brand descriptions. So h1 brand description And then we can have one section for testimonials. Now inside this section we can have some image as well for the brand. For now let us leave it. Now right next to this section we can have another section, but within the main element, and here we can specify a couple of testimonials which we can represent using divs. But to add a semantic behavior to it, we should prefer article elements for representing testimonials. So let us add an h2 element, and here let us say testimonials, and then add an article element. Within it let first testimonial, and right next to it add a p element, some description. Let us add one more testimonial. So again we will use the article element, and let us change this to this is the second testimonial. Now this is one of the possible structures. You could also have multiple sections within an article, and there could be multiple structures that you could think of, but it entirely depends on the content that goes into your web page. Now we can also have an aside element. So let me add it right after the main element. So aside holds any content that is some side content and that is not directly related to our main content. And then we have our footer element where we can have the copyright and various other links as well. So let us give this a preview in the browser. So Semantic HTML. Now we will see later how we can style this, but this is the basic structure for a Semantic HTML web page. So this was all I wanted to cover in this video. If you liked the video, do give it a thumbs up or comment down below if you have any query. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the very next one.